I mean, the people that chose to give their lives to stay here to teach people, how many people did they really help? It's a percentage, such a small percentage of reality that people really can change. But if God wanted to change reality of planet Earth or any realm, they would just have to step on a planet and say, hey, everybody, this is your last chance. You got 5 days to do this. If you don't, it's gone. I mean, it would be that simple, just like the day the Earth stood still. I mean, that would be a wake-up call. And I still feel like that was my favorite movie because mankind's only going to wake up when they're forced to. When they're forced to do something, then they become active, and then they do get involved. But as long as they're not being forced into it, they don't willingly jump into a situation. And for me personally, I always feel when a situation's happening and I'm in front of it, it's for me directly to do something and be involved to understand it. So when we go through these experiences, realize we can put ourselves in stupid experiences and say that we learned a lot, but are they the things you needed to learn? I mean, you constantly fight, you get hurt. I mean, how many times you got to do it to realize that's not the right way to go about doing a situation? Eating certain foods that make you deathly sick. How many times are you going to do it before you say, well, I'm not going to eat that no more? I mean, learning, and since we reincarnated so many times, we should have learned all the basics. Not to stick your hand in the fire. I mean, things like that we should have learned many times after doing it many times. And as a child, because we're not aware of our past lives, we still do it. And I'm not going to go into my own experiences, but a lot of things when I was little I knew. And I wanted to do it, but I wasn't allowed to. But I knew I could do it, or I wanted to do it. And then when you do something, you say, yeah, I know how to do this. I mean, the old saying, I got on a horse and I could ride it. I just didn't know how, but I knew when I got on a horse. Well, most people have rode a horse in many lifetimes, so that's not one thing that they really need to learn. But as far as building a robot, building a spaceship, is it needed? Of course not. Should we do it? No, we don't. We shouldn't be, and that's not where our attention should be focused. So until mankind really starts looking at what we're creating, which is sad, because there's not much good coming out of it. And I mean, and here's what I want to tell TJ, all New Age people, most spiritualists say everything's good. It's going to be good. Going to be means somewhere in the distant future. I call that a futurist, saying that the future is going to bring better things. Well, better things happen when people become better. And until that happens, things become worse. And we're creating the downfall. I listened to a guy this morning was talking about Nostradamus, and he said, read the quote from Revelations. It gives a date and time. 2021 and 22 is the disaster of the planet. From Nostradamus. It's in Revelations. So, I mean, Nostradamus is quoting it. So, is it important? People don't believe in the Bible. And most people that don't believe in the Bible, why do they believe in angels? Because 99% of all angels that people talk to come out of the Bible. So we have so many contradictories on what's spiritual, what's not, what we put into religion. And if it's religion, we put it into spiritualism because we don't go to church. We don't have to deal with that church thing. And the Ten Commandments, well, they're outdated. I mean, well, the Jewish religion follows 613 laws of the Jewish religion from Moses. They can't live by 10 of them. Nobody can. So we have double standards in everything. New Age people or religious people should have nothing to say about anybody else, which they all do. So if you accept the idea we're not supposed to have thought and like react or actually take sides or be prejudiced, is another programmed idea being forced upon us. If there's two groups of people growing, the killers and the farmers, and the killers say, well, we're going to kill all the farmers unless they become killers. So you become a killer to survive, or the farmers aren't going to kill the killers. So it's a scenario that we choose constantly, where we can't debate, we can't be prejudiced. If they're killers, am I prejudiced? Yes, I am. Are they rapists? Am I prejudiced? Yes, I am. Are they lovers? Am I prejudiced? Yes, I am. So it's what a person is how we perceive them. We can't say it anymore, but we still are. So we're going to take the next step, and hopefully TJ will come back. We'll be back next week or during the week. I do my show on Wednesday, and on Wednesdays I'm trying to do debate or conspiracy theory, meaning whatever I can find or come up with, or anybody that I want to get to come on that will debate something, I will. And I'm totally open to debating anybody on this planet about any subject pertaining to spirit, God, death, life, earth, you name it. So that's always fun. For me it is, especially if somebody comes on. I'm always ready to stand by my ground and stand by my truth. And very few people are. I explained when I met Danny Brinkley, he was one of the few people that stood by his truth. I give him credit. I'm not saying I understand everything he said, it was right and this, that, and everything, but he stood by his truth. And to say it in front of 13 people, I give him credit. So most people that have their truth cannot stand by it. Are you talking to me? Well, that are willing to put their truth on the line, because if their truth gets shattered, then they have nothing. Our truth can't get shattered. So it's a matter of life and death to me. It will be my life, it will be my death. But when people talk about their truth and they know their truth, Jesus will save them, or Gabriel is going to protect them, and all these, or Dorothy Atlantean will be there on their side, or the Anunnaki is going to come up and take them. Whatever their truth is it worthy of being your truth? Ascension is worth every speck of energy to get to it, and it will take everything, all your energy. I did a teaching called the Emerald Tablets with the medicine one I studied with for 2 years. There's a physical technique you do when you do your whole meditation, your prayer, and not a prayer, but you do your mudra with a mantra. It's a breathing rather than a mantra. As you do the movement with it, then you exhale and hold your breath, and then you go through the ascension into the pyramid, and then you go through it into the next realm. Science will never prove what a pyramid is. People will never be told the truth of what it is, because the aliens, it didn't help the aliens, it didn't help the Egyptians. So how far do we think that, no matter how far back we go in history, did it ever make us better? Well, from direct experience of my own, Atlantis was the land of the Garden of Eden. It was the only time mankind, women, lived together. I just talked to somebody, they still believe that woman came out of a man. I said, well, that's still saying God is a man. God has no female-male agenda and failure. So when we go into how man got here, well, we have to realize there was multiple races, multiple colors of races, multiple actual looks and characteristics of races. All races have a different characteristic. To say that just living in a different temperature changes the size of your mouth, your lip, your legs, your feet, your toes, your ears is ridiculous. Or they're changing the color of your skin. I mean, people, well, if you're in the sun, your skin gets dark. It gets dark and burnt if you're a white person. And black people get burnt as well. But their skin doesn't turn a different color. We don't turn green or red or yellow, orange anymore. Or blue, for that matter. So when we talk about these things, I say whatever you're searching for, whatever you believe in, check it out. Follow it. See how far it goes. Pull everything you can up about it. I did that when I was little, about the Jumeau Mansion, about George Washington. Jumeau Mansion had Madame Jumel there. I went to every library, pulled up every book, and I learned the history. And then I had a psychic I was working with when I was 16. She was rated a psychic in the United States at that time. And she used to channel Madame Jumel, and I learned the real history behind it. And when you check it out, it only fits. It fits into reality. But, I mean, even that was a kind of a twisted story when George Washington built the first house in Harlem in New York City. That's where he built his headquarters. All of Harlem was a horse stable. And it's just amazing if you really search out the history and what was there and how it changed to what it is. It was the most haunted house in the United States, I would say, because of all the people that died there on the property, because George Washington had his battles there. So many people died in the house. Even Aaron Burr died in that house. So it's an incredible story. But if you don't search the history, you're only going to hear parts of that which become a totally different story. So if you have a truth, prove it to yourself, prove it in detail, and if you do, then you can say, okay, I think I know. If you say, I think I know the truth, you're still not there. And when you say, I now know the truth, at least you're at a spot where you totally believe it, accept it, understand it, and know how it got there. Oh, I read this book, or I read this book. No, that's not truth. That's not experience. When people write a book about somebody else's experience, they're losing about 70% of what really happened. The feelings, the emotions, and what really happened. I mean, Travis Walton did the movie Fire in the Sky. He wants to do it over because he said so many things were wrong. But years and years of an idea slowly changes for most people. Because you add things and you change things, you make things a little bit better, fit a little bit better together. The further away you get from what you experience, the further the experience really is. It doesn't become greater over time unless you totally are in the experience and stay within it. So when you go through ascension, you go through it. You don't come back from it. Jesus ascended. He left the planet. Ascension is leaving. It's not staying. Ascend means you can go to the astral plane and still come back. And that's because of the silver cord, which nobody talks about either. So there's things people let go of because they don't want to talk about it. And I relate to things that did. Shirley MacLaine is a famous actress. She actually put her life on the line by doing a movie of her story about death, leaving her body, meeting with an alien, and all that. But she put it out there about how to do astral projection, out-of-body experiences, and she talked about the silver cord. She talked about everything she could. It's still online. You can pull it up if you want to watch an old movie talking about truth. But she was going through it. And for her to come out, and her career was in the peak of everything, she was still in the peak of her career, to come out and say all these things that you did and experienced, kind of makes you look like when the two people about when Roswell happened, when they came out, was a black person and a white person, and they were married, coming out saying that they were abducted or they saw a ship and all these little things that went down. It's hard because when you put your life on the line, you better be standing 100% in your truth. Or you probably wouldn't even did it in the first place. So the truth is still always the most important way to go. The lies only take away from it and keep you further from getting to where you really need to be or you really should be going. So I'm coming close to the end. This was TJ Morris Radio. Tommy Hawksblood here. Hope you listened. Hope you got something out of it. I mean, we got kind of twisted around a little different things. I mean, TJ always brings certain things in, and then we get into another different thing. But if we had call-ins, a few more call-ins, we could actually keep it a little more focused. But when we get into a class, it will stay within a specific topic the whole time. And eventually, hopefully within a year, we do want to have a meeting somewhere in the United States, a convention where we get together. I know Janet's doing her Cosmos thing. So I gave to the Cosmos, which was a name, and I know she wouldn't admit to it, that my partner created 6 years ago.